local station. News 4 Jax starts now.
An unusual sight on Blunt Island. This huge crane flipped over on its side after it fell off a flatbed truck. Hello, everyone. It is the kind of accident that is certainly turning heads at Blunt Island right now. Workers there now trying to right that huge crane that weighs several thousand pounds after a mishap this morning near the port. It happened right there near the entrance to the Blunt Island Marine Terminal on the north side. That's where Channel 4's Jim Pickett is joining us now live. Jim, anyone hurt?
Nobody was hurt. That's the good thing here. But let me show you what they're doing right now. They actually brought in another crane to upright this crane. And as you had mentioned, this crane was on the back of a flatbed truck. It toppled over as the driver was trying to make a U-turn to back out of the port. He was bringing this crane here that was repaired here apparently somewhere in the Jacksonville area, and they were going to ship it out, but he didn't have the right credentials to bring this in. So he's doing the U-turn, the weight shifted, and over on its side it went. Now, we talked to JSO about this, and they were telling us the good thing is, though, no one was hurt.
On its right side.
What we've learned thus far is that the crane weighs about 106,000 pounds. The truck that it was traveling on, the semi itself, is rated for 150,000 pounds. It's a very fortunate thing this morning that there are no injuries. It has not impacted operations here at Jacksport.
This is very busy around here, too, with the trucks coming in that are bringing in the materials. So it was a good thing that this happened off to the side. They were able to continue the operations here. It's business as usual here at Jacksport. For now, we're live on the north side. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you very much, Jim. And just moments ago, we spoke with a man whose car was stolen and then found crashed in northwest Jacksonville this morning. This is the same area where someone shot at a police officer at around 3:30 in the morning. It happened on Scott Street near Edgewood Avenue in northwest Jacksonville. Channel 4's Elizabeth Campbell is joining us now live. Elizabeth, that man is really upset, as you might imagine, about what happened.
Jen, he is upset. He's also shocked and can't believe what happened to him just days before Christmas. And if you take a look behind me, you can see right now they are going through this car, trying to see what is there, what is not, that was originally there when the car was stolen. As you can see, there's also damage to the car. He's actually not going to be able to drive it away from here. Going to have to get it towed. That's who he's working on getting out here right now, as a towing company, so he can get the car safely away because it is not drivable. Now, this is one of two cars that was found here this morning. It was stolen last night, he tells me, from the Orange Park Country Club, so stolen out of a gated community. And I want to show you some video from earlier this morning when the incident happened that involves all of this. It started around 3:45 in the morning when someone called the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office about two suspicious cars that were stuck in the mud here in an empty lot on some property off of Scott Street. The officer who responded waited to see if anyone was going to return to the cars. 3 men did come back. The officer called for backup, and once he got out of his car, he was seen by the 3 men. We're told he didn't yell out or approach them, but one of the men fired a gun at the officer. Now, fortunately, the officer was not hit. The men then got into a white car that they showed up in, separate from the 2 that were stuck here in the mud, and sped off. And just a couple blocks away, they lost control, crashed into a telephone pole, and then the 3 men ran off. And from what we understand, police are still searching for them. Now, I just spoke with this man whose car was stolen last night, and he just got here this morning to recover it, and he said this is absolutely shocking to him.
My mother-in-law called me from Tennessee, and the car is registered in both our names, okay? And she called me up and said, what's going on with the car? I said, well, what do you mean? She goes, well, evidently there's a shootout and all this, your car is stolen. I said, what? So I walked outside and checked, and my car was gone. So, and we got home last night after Christmas shopping about 12, right after 12 o'clock, late Christmas Eve, or Christmas shopping, and car was there. Everything was fine.
He says this is still hard for him to believe, and it is upsetting that somebody would steal something that he said he worked hard for. I mean, what you're looking at now is some tire tracks that are actually in this same property. It looks like it's some of those tire tracks from when those 3 men actually sped off, and you can see they come all the way up here to where the stolen car is and where earlier this morning one of the other cars was. Now, we're also told that a gun was recovered from one of the cars, but we're not sure if that was the same gun that was used to fire at that officer this morning. But again, the good news is he was not hurt. The bullet did not touch him, so that is the good news. And now coming up tonight on the evening news, we're going to talk to Channel 4's crime and safety expert Gil Smith about the search for these three men and also what neighbors are doing just to stay alert and to make sure that they stay safe. Reporting live from Northwest Jacksonville, Elizabeth Campbell, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Today is a busy travel day for people headed to visit family and friends for Christmas. Be careful. The roads are wet. The weather is going to get progressively worse into tomorrow as well. Meteorologist Richard Nunn is here to show us what's coming. Richard?
No, it's already starting to show up on the radar here. And the folks, this right on into the Christmas Day forecast, and we'll take you all the way through the weekend, Jen, coming up in about 10 minutes. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Richard. An update now about a Florida mother who drove her minivan into the ocean off Daytona Beach with her children strapped in their car seats. Ebony Wilkerson is now headed to a state hospital. A judge ruled this morning that her actions were dangerous and could have killed her children. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity. The court said that Wilkerson will now receive crucial treatment that she needs so that she can safely raise her children. Wilkerson was pregnant at the time that she did that. Covering Columbia County now, Lake City police are issuing a warning about synthetic marijuana. About a dozen people have been taken to hospitals recently after using the drug, which is commonly referred to as spice. It's also known as K2. Police are urging everyone to avoid buying spice, which is often marketed as a harmless herbal mix. It's not the case, though. It is dangerous, they say, and can really make anyone who takes it very sick. Nearly a year after a chain reaction crash in Lake City that killed a young couple and their unborn baby, troopers have now made an arrest. David Huckabee was arrested yesterday for DUI and 3 counts of negligent homicide. Troopers say that 20-year-old Jennifer Duncan was driving with 21-year-old Kenneth Pelletier when Huckabee hit them. Investigators say that Huckabee rear-ended the car that they were in and then pushed it into another lane where it then crashed with another car. The couple and their unborn baby died. Huckabee was not hurt. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is asking protest leaders to hold off on demonstrations against police, at least until 2 officers can be buried. But protest leaders say they're not going to do that. As Alexandria Fields explains, police have also announced tighter security for the New Year's Eve ball drop in Times Square.
This is a difficult time for both of our families. But we will stand together and get through this together. Thank you.
Oh, poor family. A funeral for Officer Rafael Ramos will be held on Saturday. Officer Wen Jan Lu's funeral will be held off until his family members can arrive here in the United States because they'll be traveling from China. Now to Wall Street, where all eyes are certainly on the Dow this afternoon. Stocks are pushing further into record territory. The Dow topped 18,000 for the first time this morning. Here's a look at stocks now. Traders have been really encouraged by signs of strength in the U.S. economy and reassurances that the Federal Reserve won't raise interest rates, at least until sometime mid-next year. But you can see the Dow is up 77 points. The NASDAQ dropped just off 10 points, and the S&P 500 is up slightly, almost to 4 points. Now, a gloomy day out there. Richard was telling us about it just moments ago. Rain is on the way. He's looking ahead, though, to the weekend forecast. As you take a live look out our tower camera, we're hoping that all those gray skies will be out of here in time for the weekend. He'll give us details in just a few minutes. But first, a recall alert you should be aware of about a popular coffee maker. Which Keurigs you're going to want to check before giving as a gift. A recall alert now if you have a Keurig. The company is recalling 7 million single-serve coffee machines. The model affected specifically is the Mini Plus brewing system. The model number is K10. The machines can overheat and they can spray that hot water during brewing, which will certainly hurt. Keurig has already received about 200 reports of hot liquid escaping, 90 reports of burn-related injuries. All recalled brewers have an identification number starting with the number 31. It's printed right there on the bottom. They were sold between 2009 and this year, 2014. If your machine is affected, you can have it repaired for free by calling Keurig.
Always watching, always tracking. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
All right, on that forecast, it is just active looking off to southeast Georgia and into the panhandle here. This day, we will finally start to see some sunshine and those seasonal temperatures. Back to you.
A very valuable piece of jewelry left in a Salvation Army kettle. The touching note attached to the diamond-encrusted cross. Next.
Unity Calendar is sponsored by Zaxby's.
We hear about good deeds pretty often during the holiday season. Here's one we hope will put a smile on your face. Someone in Boston left a diamond-encrusted cross in a Salvation Army kettle, and it was attached with a touching note.
To continue to help more and more people.
The Salvation Army in Boston says that money raised from the sale of the jewelry will go towards buying toys for needy children. Well, talking about a lot of money, so it's a twist on the nightly lottery drawing on television, singing the winning numbers.
4 millones de euros, 437, 4 millones de euros.
You can make out because they're not speaking the same language as we are, at least English, that this is not here in the United States. But the prize totaled $3 billion. How many winners won and where this is held? Coming up. All right, so here's a different way to show the winning lottery numbers. In Spain, the children kind of sing the numbers.
50.612 mil euros, 10.105 mil.
Gordo drawing, that means the fat one. Thousands shared in the $3 billion prize because it's a fat prize. 10 winners picked up the largest prize of $492,000 each. The El Gordo is one of the world's oldest and richest lotteries. I know we were saying 3 billion or 3 million. It's B. It's 3 billion.
But if it's, where's the rest of the money?
So
you had 10 winners at a $500,000.
There must be smaller, kind of similar to ours, I'm going to guess. So if you don't get all of the winning numbers, but you get a couple, we're running out of time.
All right.
Darn it.
Hey, there's the rain that's in your forecast. Keep up with our radar. You can do so at newsforjax.com or on our apps.
Have a great day, everyone.